The ancient epics are rarely dusty relics consigned to university basements. They are volatile, dormant blueprints of reality. And in Grendel and Beowulf, Urban Magic and Folklore, the razor-sharp, atmospheric, and lethally paced masterwork by Gockel, the modern cityscape is revealed to be a literal hunting ground where the archaic gods are being re-engineered into digital ghosts. Gockel, the cold-blooded archaeologist of this neon-soaked, myth-saturated, and spellbinding odyssey, delivers a visceral, deeply intense, and soul-searing masterpiece that strips away the romanticism of hero myths to reveal the brutal industrial mechanics of folklore extortion. This isn't a story of whimsical, starlit adventuring. It is a rapid-fire, deeply intense plunge into the logistical nightmare of maintaining one's humanity in a world where folklore is a weaponized algorithm, deception is a survival instinct, and every subway station is a potential gateway into a dimension that treats mortal souls as raw data points for its grand history-resetting illusions. And the terrifying truth that when you invoke the Grendel, you don't just summon a monster, you forfeit your reality to the applause of shadows. Gockel hooks the audience instantly by constructing a high-stakes, hyper-focused trap. A cynical, magically gifted outsider, forced to operate in the city's dangerous, folklore-aligned magical districts, finds themselves caught in a high-stakes game of shadows against an entity known as the Beowulf Protocol, which aims to map, quantify, and ultimately terminate the individuality of every arrival. The narrative center zeroes in on the protagonist's methodical, high-pressure descent into the rune-stitching, a state of hyper-rational, magic-defying perception that allows them to see the underlying artificial architecture of the city's enchanted districts. As they traverse the oppressive, rain-drenched alleys of the underworld and the dangerously shifting, memory-saturated servers of the Great Archive, they realize that their quest for meaning is not merely a survivalist pursuit. It is a systemic catalyst that is drawing out the mythwalkers, entities that hunt those who refuse to conform to the city's optimized reality-flattening illusions. The investigation into the sudden, coordinated disappearance of the city's most radical, truth-seeking sorcerers quickly escalates into a dangerous, high-stakes tactical chess match as they discover that the entire urban magical structure has been covertly funded by the very entity that keeps them tethered to their performative suffering. Forced to juggle the logistical nightmare of managing a rapidly decaying, reality-bending magical rebellion, the constant suffocating threat of archival erasure, and the mounting, undeniable encounter with the cost of their own burgeoning insight, they must synthesize a new way of existing, one built on tactical linguistics, radical, improvised reality anchoring, and an unyielding, purely human refusal to let their purpose be redacted by the system's relentless physics-enforcing machinery. Gockel's writing style is unapologetically clinical, machine-gun fast, and saturated with an intense, authentic blend of magical, cybernetic jargon, sharp, cynical, intellectual wit, and high-stakes environmental dread. She builds exceptional structural tension by pairing the mundane, aching routines of survival, cross-referencing magical logs, deciphering forbidden, folklore-lun texts, and enduring the quiet, crushing weight of constant, vigilant isolation, with the chaotic, nightmare-filled assaults of the system's truth-guarding monsters. The story moves forward with a relentless, momentum-driven energy, turning routine analytical probes, calculated maneuvers through the city's secret, steam-filled basements, and tense, high-stakes standoffs with lethal logic-warping figures into pulse-pounding steps closer to an inevitable, reality-defining confrontation. The presentation thrives on this sharp analytical focus, making every discovered anomaly, every executed reality stabilization command, and every deep-seated fear confronted feel like a high-stakes victory for the human spirit. What makes Grendel and Beowulf an exceptional entry in the modern urban fantasy canon is Gockel's unparalleled ability to develop a highly compelling, logic-driven investigator whose cognitive discipline is treated as a supreme navigational asset rather than a tragic, fading memory. Watch as they transform their experience with obscure, illusion-bound information into a compass, learning to navigate the chaotic fairground of the city to outmaneuver a power that operates with absolute, terrifying precision. As the structural walls of their reality begin to collapse and the true scope of the epic danger is exposed, the pacing transforms into a breathless, heart-pounding race to maintain the shred of truth they carry before their consciousness is permanently unstitched by the system's relentless, physics-enforcing machinery. The final act is an absolute masterclass in suspense, delivering a barrage of explosive realizations, shattered paradigms, and a spectacular, jaw-dropping climax that completely leaves the reader thoroughly stunned. For fans of thrillers demanding a brilliant, character-driven, and masterfully paced exploration of physics and urban mythic imperialism, this book delivers an unforgettable shockwave.